I personally had a good weekend, okay? So
Saturday. Here we go.
Saturday, Cody was with me. So I didn't make it to the tailgate on time because I had to work.
We got after it on Saturday.
I got after it on Saturday, I'll tell you that. Because on my way walking to the game, which is like probably about a mile and a quarter, mile and a half walk, within the first half mile, I slugged 3 12-ounce drinks.
As one does.
And then I stopped because I saw a cat with thumbs. I found a friend. He got thumbs. He's got thumbs. Look at that. He's ready. You got thumbs. Thumbs up, buddy. Oh, he's so cute.
Yes, you did.
I shit you not. Cat with thumbs.
Boom.
Like its dew claw was down there?
It was like a whole extra toe.
Yeah, it's like out. Yeah, it's like cats like walk like this. Well, this thing had like a thumb out like this. Yeah.
True thumb.
Yeah. But yeah, so that distracted me for a while. So then I had to keep walking the rest of the time with no drinks. Okay, and then I got there and everybody was leaving the game at halftime because Slippery Rock was crushing and they almost lost. But anyways, then we went to the bar later that night. And I couldn't even walk straight coming out of the bar. Carson said we walked into Sheetz twice. I don't remember either time. I ordered food and then I ate it. I don't remember what I ordered, what I ate.
Oh man.
I don't even remember like where I was sitting or standing to eat it. I don't know. I have no idea what happened at all. But then I was with Drew, our buddy Drew, and he's like, man, I can't. I'm like him, and he's like me. I can't sleep whenever I'm spinning. And he's like, yeah, I'm the same way.
Me too.
So he's like, you want to go for a walk? So we ended up walking. We were out walking until 5 a.m. And
that's what I hear. And Carson told me.
Yeah, and then we went back. We put on The Emperor's New Groove. Great Disney
movie.
The Emperor's New Groove.
That's a good one.
And Prince turns into a llama.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during that. Fell asleep sitting up. Never fall asleep sitting up. I am not a person that can do that.
Yeah, you puke up your fish stick hole.
No,
on somebody.
That wasn't you. You didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that, but it was just next to me and all over me.
Right.
So you'd rather puke instead of getting puked on, probably.
Well, I didn't get puked on. I probably was the one that puked because I did eat the fish sticks.
Oh, so but no, it wasn't you. If you don't remember it, it wasn't you.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
he was the only one who ate fish sticks.
I didn't wake up to it. There was just a whole swallowed but not chewed.
Oh, a fish stick.
Yeah, it was a whole fish stick covered in puke.
Yeah.
But anyways, from between midnight and 5 a.m., I took 13,000 steps.
Jesus.
We were just out walking. Jeez. Like, we were just out walking on the roads, and Drew's like, I got headlamps. You want to go back and get headlamps? I'm like, hell yeah! So we were back walking around with headlamps on, just walking. And then, fall asleep at like 5:10 a.m., wake up at 6:30, go play football for 2 hours.
In the rain.
And then I didn't take a nap the whole rest of the day, running on an hour and a half of sleep. And then I drove. That was probably the toughest drive back down to Slippery Rock. Toughest, like, 35-minute drive of my life. I'm just like, trying to stay awake. I'm like,
there, buddy.
It was a fun weekend. In the bar, we watched the end of the Georgia-Alabama game. It was a crazy ending.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to it.
It was a good game.
But it was it was a good weekend though. And then like I said, didn't even nap on Sunday and tried to stay awake watching football, and I was okay. Ate some tacos, ate hella tacos.
Ooh.
Not as many as Cletus. But.
Yeah,
nice.
I don't even know how many I had. But yeah, I was in Grove City twice over the weekend on 2 different days.
Yeah.
Don't know why I was there the first day.
Yeah. Also drunk.
Yeah, I think I slept on the way back. Not sure.
I asked you, where are you guys going? You're like, Tyson's. And I was like, who the hell is that? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. We went to some old lady's house. She's probably like 65.
Nice.
Just drank in her garage, watching the Penn State game.
Oh.
I was like, wow.
Did you know her either?
No, not at all. There's some old guy that apparently is a raging alcoholic, and he was giving us free beers. So
all right.
I was like, this place is amazing.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
Stay here a while.
That's a good weekend.
Well, a low recommendation for the spins is if you drink even more, it goes completely out the window.
You don't have to worry about the spins.
You don't have to worry about the wind.
Exactly. You never reach the spins if you're still drunk.
If you're beyond the spins.
Right.
There is a region beyond the spins. That's where you want to get to.
Sounds like a good time.
It's terrible the next day.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to play football.
Oh, and Drew, bless his heart, he fell asleep at 5:10 just like me as we put on the movie, and then he woke up at 6 a.m. because he had to go to work at 7 a.m. and work an 8-hour shift. Yeah.
Where's he work?
Walmart. But he's like a.
They're all drunk anyway.
But still, a 7 a.m. shift doing anything.
It's pretty good.
Have to be on your feet. Like, that's just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
But it was a good weekend. It was great.
It sounds like a good weekend.
Great weekend.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Well, Cletus, I know you'll know. There's only one way to start this intro song. There's only one way to start this episode with the. There's only one intro song to start this episode with.
Easy for you to say.
There we go.
What is it?
Well, another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Yeah.
I don't know all the words.
No.
Classic Green Day banger.
We just kept singing it in his basement.
Nice.
Luke was playing his guitar.
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk podcast. Today's Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. This is our episode 41, week 4 review. Cletus Smith, Keegan Crop. I'm Cody Crop. Let's get right into it. So we're doing our review and then our Collinsworth Glaze segment. So let's get right into it. Starting off with some college review. So we will go over some of these biggest games from the weekend. The first one we'll touch on here is Oklahoma State lost to Kansas State pretty handily. Kansas State beat them 42-20 under the helm of Avery Johnson. There's his name. There it is. Yeah, he just dominated all game. He had 3 touchdowns, and I don't even know how many rushing. 2 more? Yeah, 2 more rushing. He just looked like a guy all game long. Just absolutely smacked Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State team. And, yeah, it was just a dominating performance all day long. Not even close. I mean, DJ Giddens ran for 187 yards.
On 15 carries.
He was just running all over him all game long. A dominating win by Kansas State. And Avery Johnson's just, every week, I mean, he's not dropping off. He's going to be a guy for sure.
We talked about this last week, but whenever we were previewing this game, Oklahoma State, in our opinion, should not have been ranked in the first place after how kind of rough they looked in their previous game, who they played last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I guess. But they lost to Utah and then somehow stayed ranked, but probably shouldn't have. Like I said that they looked better than Utah in that game, but at the end of the day, they still lost. And they didn't look good in this game, that's for sure. Alan Bowman looked as inconsistent as he had been looking all season long, and Oklahoma State's definitely out of the race now. But Kansas State, they're looking up. They are looking up for sure because Avery Johnson, as you said, he is that guy. And this Kansas State, as we said whenever we covered a Kansas State game a few weeks ago, this Kansas State team plays a balanced game. Teams have been figuring out how to shut down Ollie Gordon and make Alan Bowman throw, which is working because Alan Bowman's so inconsistent right now, but Ollie Gordon's been struggling this season because they're just selling out to stop the run, and it is working.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas State in general, Avery Johnson only passed for 259 total yards, and they scored 42 points. Mm-hmm. So you're like, how does that happen? And, well, it's because of DJ Giddens. That's the reason. Even Avery Johnson got 60 yards rushing. But then you look to the other side, and Alan Bowman, they lost bad, and he still somehow managed 364 yards.
Just trying to come back.
Yeah, just trying to rip the ball out, but
the Dak Prescott way.
Yeah.
Garbage time.
Yeah,
baby.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was coming upon. It was 42-13 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 42-13 for a lot longer than that since the end of the third quarter. It was 42-13, and then they could only manage one more touchdown, just trying to claw back and.
That's how you get your draft stock up on a shit team.
Yeah.
You just sling it all over the yard because they're playing sloppy defense.
And they got second stringers out there.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yep, dominating win by K-State.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next game. So number 15, Louisville lost to number 16, Notre Dame. It was 31-24 Notre Dame. Notre Dame, if my takeaway for them is...
You guys thought they were going to lose.
I did because Riley Leonard, if you just watch him play, Riley Leonard is Josh Allen before the bippity-boppity-boo. Before everything turned out good for Josh Allen,
Well, that didn't happen until NFL for Josh Allen.
I know.
So kind of right along the same.
Riley Leonard is looking like a college and young NFL career Josh Allen. If he could just play a clean game like he did today, he can look like one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Yeah.
But he's just so inconsistent. But today he had it working. He didn't have to do too much, luckily.
Not today, but we get it.
The
other day. Game day.
Game day, Saturday, whatever. But he had it working that day because they didn't ask him to do too much because the defense was playing well. Everybody on this Notre Dame team was playing well, and they were just waiting for Louisville to make mistakes. But because that takes me to my takeaway for Louisville, they didn't really get beat by Notre Dame. They just beat themselves. There were too many mistakes. There was one bobbling catch that turned into an interception. There were 3 fumbles, and they lost 2 of them. Tyler Shuck basically played how Riley Leonard usually plays, like very sloppy, but can run the ball, built like a tank. But it was just Riley Leonard showed up this game and didn't try to do too much, and it just worked out for this team because they had it all clicking. But I still don't feel great about Notre Dame long term. They still feel kind of stagnant because Riley Leonard, basically it's like you ask him to do the bare minimum, but then at the end of the day, it's like then your offense isn't very explosive because it starts and ends with him because he had 52 rushing yards. They only asked him to throw 23 times for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, as I said, no mistakes. But it worked today.
Yeah.
But against Louisville, obviously, is a good team. They were ranked. But against a better team that maybe Notre Dame would face in the college football playoff, I fear for what Riley Leonard they're going to get because you never know. You don't know.
Agreed.
So moving on to the next game, it is Arkansas. So Arkansas, they lost to Texas A&M. The score was 21-17 Texas A&M. So Arkansas hung in there. Arkansas, Taylon Green has all the tools, but right now he's literally Daniel Jones. Well, not now Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones past 2 weeks is like it's like it reminds me of that meme. It's like a Pooh with the monocle. It's like Danny Dimes, and then it's like a very sloppy, like methed up Pooh, and then like they work their way down. It's like Daniel Jones, and it's like the monocle. He playing like that right now
because of Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. That's not. But Taylon Green doesn't have a Malik Neighbors. He's not an NFL quarterback right now, but he has all the tools. He is he's big-bodied quarterback, a lot like Riley Leonard, Tyler Shuck, but even more sloppy than those guys, which is saying something. But Taylon Green has all the tools. But in this game, Texas A&M shut down Jaquindon Jackson, a guy who I said had been running all over the yard in our pregame show. But so whenever you do that and you force Taylon Green to throw, it's not going to turn out very well. He did have 279 passing yards, but it was 23 for 41, so basically he's batting around 50%, somewhere around there. Held Jaquindon Jackson to 37 rushing yards. And basically, their main touchdown that they had in this game, his only passing touchdown was to Isaac Tesla. It was a 75-yard touchdown, just like catch and run. On the other side of the ball, though, Marcel Reed, he's been filling in for Connor Weigman since like week 2. Redshirt freshman. His completion percentage is not the best, but he is doing what he has to do to get this team to win games. They're undefeated under Marcel Reed's leadership here, and they're just running the ball well. He's making good decisions. He's very skinny. He looks like a Tua Tagovailoa now, like a not chunky Tua from the past.
Oh God.
Not that Tua either. But Marcel Reed is a very small built quarterback, but he's been doing everything he has to. But also, what really stuck out to me in this game was this Texas A&M defensive line is legit. Taylon Green was under pressure all day long. He couldn't escape the pocket and run, which is what he's known for, is his rushing ability. And he had 6 rushing yards.
Ooh, yikes.
13 carries for 6 rushing yards. Now that includes sacks that he took as well, because college stats are stupid in my opinion. But anyways, he was under pressure all game long, which is what you need to do with a quarterback who is sloppy in that way that Taylon Green is. But there are 3 defensive linemen that the Aggies have that are expected to be drafted in the first 4 rounds of the 2025 NFL draft. And Nick Scorton, an edge on their team, or Scouton, I haven't watched Scorton?
Sure.
I don't know. But he's projected to go in the first round, and you could definitely see it in this game. Taylon Green was having fits. But this Texas A&M team, if they can play smart like Marcel Reed has been doing, run the ball and just play defense, like get pressure on the opposing team's quarterback, this team, they could make a run.
Could make some
They
noise.
could make a run. I just don't know when Gardner Weigman's going to come back and if he's going to be as smart with the ball, because that first game from Connor Weigman wasn't the best before he went out, but we'll see. I don't know, because Marcel Reed might be playing his way into a starting role here. We don't know.
Let's hit a couple more college games here. So next game we'll touch on here is Georgia lost to Alabama at home. Alabama beat them 41-34 with Alabama getting a nice pick to seal that game off down in the red zone from Carson Beck. So Jalen Milroe, I don't know what he's in for the Heisman race, but he still looks incredible right now. Threw for 374 and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he ran for 2 more with 117 yards on 16 carries. I mean, he's playing out of his mind right now, and he's still doing all that, doing all his running and everything. Ryan Williams, his receiver, had 177 yards on 6 receptions. I mean, they're just playing out of their mind right now, and that's why you don't bet against Alabama at home.
Yeah, home dogs.
It was a super exciting game. Georgia made a late surge at the end. They were trying to come back, scored 19 points in the fourth quarter, but Alabama was able to hold them off. Got that pick at the end, like I just said. And
Carson Beck, that whole last drive where Georgia was trying to come back, he was just throwing up prayer balls. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how it was working, but it was working.
Yeah.
Because Carson Beck threw for 439, another example of team just trying to get back into it. Because they were getting beat pretty good all game.
Yeah.
Alabama clearly looked like the better team this week. But, yeah, it was a super exciting game and obviously super close. Obviously, when you get these – it's really cool now with this new college setup to see, like, these big-name teams.
Yes.
Like, this early in the season. Like, that was, week 5 for college? Get these teams in that kind of game early. It's just awesome. It's great for us, selfishly.
You got people born in 2007 getting touchdowns.
Yeah. You're right, yeah.
Crazy,
it's
yeah.
wild, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Williams is only 17 years old.
He can barely
Crazy.
drive.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Bama should have never let Georgia back in this game.
No, they
It was
shouldn't
28-0 at one point, and they just.
You almost expect Georgia to make a run at some point. I mean, Georgia's too good. They're going to put something together at some point. I mean, if they didn't, it'd be a tough look for them. But
Jalen Milroe has taken over as the leader in odds for the Heisman Trophy
I
at plus
figured.
220, and Travis Hunter is now second at plus 500, while tied with Cam Ward at plus 500.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He's playing out of his mind right now. Only had 6 incompletions all game. Just played a super solid game. And then Penn State, they beat Illinois at home. Penn State at home, 21-7. Didn't quite cover the spread. Dang it. But that don't matter. Who cares? Penn State just kind of played it was a whiteout. I mean, not their true whiteout, but it was a whiteout at Jordan Field? Whatever. Happy Valley. There's a whiteout at Happy Valley. And they just played kind of good enough. Nothing crazy. Like, obviously the spread was like 17.5 or something like that, so they were expecting big things.
They ran the ball.
Yeah, they did run the ball a lot. Katron Allen had 102 yards on 18 carries. Nicholas Singleton had 94 yards on 16 carries. So, yeah, they were just pounding the rock. And at the end of the day, spread doesn't matter. I mean, they got the win. They move on. And Luke Altmaier didn't do much of anything this game. And neither did really anyone on the rest of their team. They just couldn't hold up to Penn State's defense.
Yeah, their defense is legit.
Yeah,
Penn
their
State's
defense is real.
Legit. They sacked Luke. There were 7 sacks that Penn State had. Penn State sacked
Pretty
Luke
good.
Altmaier 7 times.
Pretty good.
2 from Abdul Carter, who will be a first-round pick this year, out there wearing number 11 like Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just kind of Illinois couldn't do anything on the offensive side of the ball, which meant that another game where Drew Aller doesn't have to do anything.
Hey, I mean, it works,
He
I
sucks
guess.
so bad.
I want to
He
see a
ain't that
game.
bad.
He's pretty bad. I only watched one.
He ain't
like
that bad.
maybe 1.5 quarters of the game, like the end of the first and into the second, and it looked like he didn't belong there.
I blame that on James Franklin. I don't know.
He
I don't hate him that much. I mean, I get that he's not your big, flashy, make giant plays quarterback, but
or
he just
accurate.
he gets the job done the Bill Belichick way. Just do your job.
I don't even think he did
He's
that.
done it good enough. They won.
I mean, that's the Steelers' way.
Yeah, I want to see a game where Drew Aller has to do something, but that Penn State defense is so good, it might not happen until like they play Ohio State or something. And maybe
probably.
we'll see. But yeah, all in all, Penn State another dominant win. But for us who picked Illinois, they did cover. Illinois covered, baby.
Hell yeah!
All right, that moves us on to our first
NFL game.
I think we do this every week, but Thursday Night Football
On Prime.
Yeah. So the Giants lost to the Cowboys, but it was kind of close.
The boys were trying to boys.
Yeah, the Cowboys won 20-15.
80% of America was on for the Cowboys to cover the spread, and Brandon Aubrey missed like a 46-yarder at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were saying Vegas was real deep in that game.
Yeah,
that means we're right in NFL season. People are pissed at Vegas.
Whenever we bet this, we gave our spread, it was 4.5, and then it raised up to 5.5. So Giants covered with the spread that was on like kickoff
at game time.
At game time,
yep.
But like I'm the one who picked the Giants, and we had them at 4.5. So like it sucks for me because they didn't cover that. The Cowboys covered that. But anyways,
you gotta bet at the right time.
That's betting.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But the time that we record on Tuesdays, it's what are you gonna do? But anyways, Daniel Jones. My takeaway for the Giants: Daniel Jones has composure now? Question mark.
No.
Yes.
He has more composure.
Yeah.
He just knows who to throw to all the time.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like
he's a little less confused.
He's a little bit less confused because the past 2 weeks he's played the Browns and the Cowboys, and they've been pressuring him like crazy. Like I said last week, Myles Garrett was like literally he was forcing him to stay in the pocket. Like they were setting the edge well, and then the same way DeMarcus Lawrence until he went out, and Micah Parsons until he went out, which is a big problem. For the Cowboys going
that's
forward.
A big issue.
But they were both again setting the edges, forcing Daniel Jones to stay in the pocket, which is where he gets the deer in the headlights. Usually he's like he sees them all around him. He's like, oh, and
then he throws it to the other team.
Yeah, but today, I mean, it helps that. For one, he's had this is Wan'Dale Robinson's third year in the league now.
Yep.
But, like, he's always kind of been forced to be the number one before. But, like, Wan'Dale Robinson as the number 2 receiver is a damn good number 2 receiver. Just get the ball in his hands, and he's very shifty after the catch. And then Malik Neighbors is dude, I might want to up Malik Neighbors might be a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL.
He's
I said top 15.
Super good.
I said top 15 last week, but top 10. People are going to get on him about that final catch at the end of the game. He was toe tapping, like leaning out of bounds, and he like dropped it. But like, give the kid a break. Like
this kid had 15 targets.
Right now he's on track to have the best rookie season of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we just saw that last.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah, exactly. 15 targets, 12
and we saw that the
receptions.
year before that.
Yeah,
and then we saw that the year before that.
Yeah, because it was
Puka, Chase, Jay Jettis.
Yeah. So
pretty good.
And CeeDee Lamb was somewhere in there.
Yeah, these kids just keep getting better and better. But Malik Neighbors, 15 targets, 12 receptions, 115 yards. And then Wan'Dale, 14 targets, 11 receptions, 71 yards. Daniel Jones didn't throw any touchdown passes, but he went 29 for 40, 281 passing yards, only 1 interception, only 1 sack. Daniel Jones keeps saying he loves to get sacked, and he
does.
He was angry after the game. He's like, God damn it, I wanted sacked more.
Yeah, I
didn't get hit enough.
But he's looked like he's composed, so that kind of gives me hope for that is good for Malik Neighbors, that is good for Wan'Dale Robinson, good for now they still lost the game obviously, but like there is hope going forward. I think if Daniel Jones can keep being smart with the ball, I think that this offense can be okay. But
this is what they do.
It's kind of said that there's hope in Daniel Jones.
I know.
There's hope
in
Daniel
Jones. This is what they do.
I kind of was.
I'm not buying into that.
I kind of was faking it until Daniel Jones was making it these like past 2
Now you're
weeks.
faking that he made it.
Yeah, well,
he is making it more than Daniel Jones of early this season.
281 passing yards for Daniel Jones is crazy. It's not like
0 touchdowns.
It's not like the offensive line is good. 0
That's
touchdowns.
also true. Yeah.
But for the Cowboys, obviously, edge rushers are going to be a problem now. Although Marshawn Nealand has been stepping up, second round pick, our guy.
He has looked good. Yeah,
Marshawn Nealand has looked good. But at the end of the day, still no Micah Parsons. He might be better against the run, but he's still no Micah Parsons.
No,
pass rush.
It's hard to find a Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
as much as we hate on him for only being a pass rusher, it's hard to find. I mean, these rooks may step up here at some point, and we think there's some guys that will, but
honestly, if
it's
Micah,
tough.
Micah Parsons.
Pretty easy if you're the Steelers drafting him.
Exactly.
They just
Yeah.
pop out of nowhere
Yeah.
and just become the next J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to hate on Micah Parsons too much. I mean,
No,
he did get
we
into-
can't hate on him. He's too talented.
He's too talented. I feel like Micah Parsons
He's a
could
Penn State
play
guy.
as an off-ball linebacker or as a safety and still be
I
successful.
think
in
he
the
could
NFL.
too. It seems like that's what he fits more.
Yeah, it'd be
But I
fun
mean,
to
just
watch
it's
him
probably
as an
just
off-ball
because
linebacker.
it's probably just because of his build. Like for whatever reason, to me, he doesn't look like super big.
He's not.
But I guess it's because he's not super
He's an
big.
off-ball linebacker
Yeah.
that they threw into play edge because he's
good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's not
That's fine.
the Cowboys edge rushers. Like, yeah, they are. That's a concern if they're out, but that's not what stuck out to me in this game.
Right.
The cornerbacks on this team are a problem. Now I know that they're going up against Malik Neighbors, but like Malik Neighbors has been cooking everybody. Malik Neighbors week after week is getting praise from some of the best corners in the league.
Yeah.
The best opposing quarterbacks in the league that are watching on the sidelines are like, holy shit, this kid is amazing. But the Cowboys corners at halftime, they had to bench Andrew Booth because he was sucking so bad, and then put in, who'd they even put in for him? It was
I don't remember
they put in
a whole lot of who.
a whole lot of who. I'll find it because it was Trayvon Diggs. I mean, they had Jordan Lewis starting in the slot, and he was doing okay. Oh yeah. The announcers couldn't even say his name, but his name is Amani Oruwariye. Every time they tried to say his name, they were like, Oruwariye. But he just I think they just signed him off the practice squad like this week, and they're like, Andrew Booth is getting cooked. Go ahead and get out there, buddy. So then he had to go try to guard Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, good
and it
luck.
wasn't any better.
No.
It wasn't any better. And then, as I said, Wandale was getting open all day long too. But this Cowboys defense, like Mike Zimmer came in as the defensive coordinator, and he hasn't been in the league for I can't remember how many years, but
It's been quite a few.
he doesn't know how to stop these new offenses, in my opinion, because I heard a stat that he has thrown out the same looks on defense like 90% of the time. Like, we hear about how Brian Flores is like, I
Which
keep
is
talking about
fine
how
if it works.
it doesn't work.
But
in today's NFL, if they're motioning, you should probably motion with them. Something on the defense should move to counteract like what they're doing. It's just like what defenses are doing now. It's what Brian Flores is doing now. It's what Jeff Hafley's doing now. It's like they are counteracting these motions. But these guys are just
isn't a
kinda
lot of these
standing
motions anymore just to check the defense?
Yeah.
See what they're in. So I mean,
It is,
I
yeah.
can see why they wouldn't move, but
But it's
yeah,
like
it
they're
is
showing
weird.
the same looks every single time.
Right.
And these offenses are figuring it out. Now, Cowboys still won the game, obviously.
Yeah, still won.
But yeah, the defense is kind of looking scary. And then, as always, offensive weapons or lack thereof on the Cowboys. I don't know how it's going to look the rest of the year, but not good, in my
Not
opinion.
good at all.
No.
All right, moving on to the Bengals-Panthers game, Andy Dalton's revenge tour, where he took a shit, like I predicted.
Yeah.
I mean, he really didn't take that big of a shit. He lost 34-24 against the Bengals at the Bengals.
Yeah.
And,
I thought Carolina was home.
Are you sure?
I thought they were.
Yeah, it was in Carolina.
Oh, yeah, it was. Still, shit.
Yeah.
On to the Bengals side, Joe Burrow, he looked honestly kind of just barely above average. He only threw for 232, 2 touchdowns, and an ugly pick.
Yeah.
Literally nothing special. I mean, Jamar Chase had himself a game, especially with that one catch where people just slid off of him. It was, like a 60-yarder. It was so dumb.
63 yards. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their running backs were really lighting it up this game. Their run game was going.
Chase Brown with the 2 touchdowns, 15 carries, 80 yards. Zach Moss caught a touchdown.
Yep. And he had another 15 carries.
Yep, 15 carries for 51.
Yards.
Yeah. So it was good for the running backs, mediocre for the passing, especially for Bengals standards.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, T.
For
Higgins
sure.
showed up. He had 60 yards off 6 catches, so he was like, I'm still kind of here. And for the Panthers, Andy Dalton, not nearly as good as last week, but he still threw for 220, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Chuba Hubbard was having himself a game.
Having himself a season.
Yeah, he had 18 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. The receivers, like Deontay Johnson, he was killing it all game. 7 receptions, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Leggett,
Breakout game.
his
Leggett.
boy,
Let's
breakout
go.
game.
showing his crazy athleticism with 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
First one of his career, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
I just dropped him last week. God damn it.
There you go. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, you can... Bengals defense, they're kind of dog shit, so you got to take that into account with all this.
I think as a whole, kind of, but they got some studs.
Yeah, they have, like...
Logan Wilson,
Yeah, they have
Jermaine
Logan...
Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Big guys like that. And, I mean, their line's not terrible.
They have the white guy.
It's really the
the line?
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hubbard?
Hendrickson. Well, yeah, Hubbard too.
Hubbard
but
too,
like
yeah.
this
Henderson's a stud.
This defense starts and stops with Trey Hendrickson. If he can get pressure, it's like that's great because nobody else is gonna do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Carolina's defense, everyone knows it's bottom of the barrel for the league, so that's
not good.
That's why the Bengals were seemingly getting a score every time they went out on the field.
What matters here is that the Bengals got their first win, so their Super Bowl run starts now.
Yep.
But who are they against next week? Aren't they against someone tough? They're against the Ravens.
Here we
They'll
go.
be fine.
Starting 1-4.
Yeah.
All right, the next game, Broncos-Jets. Terrible game. I hate that I have to review this.
Yeah,
rainy.
it's pretty
No
bad.
one was watching it.
Yeah.
Like, if you were watching
This could be a quick one.
If you were watching it, you were doing something else while you were watching it.
For sure.
Like, it was just raining the entire time. Aaron Rodgers was dog shit. Bo Nix was dog shit.
Yeah.
The running game was dog shit. The defense was dog shit.
Yep.
Miss kick.
Yep.
Punt the ball, miss kick.
Yep.
Terrible game.
Yep.
That's pretty much all you need to know is the battle of the shit, and the Broncos won by 1 because
A whopping 10-9.
because the rain just wanted it to end that way.
Bo
and
Nix.
kickers can't kick this week.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was missing.
Oh,
Brandon
yeah.
Aubrey. I mean, it's
Greg the leg.
Yeah, it's
Greg
normal.
the leg
Greg the
couldn't
leg
hit.
was missing. Broncos and Jets missed 2 possessions in a row from like 40.
Jake Bates was trying to miss extra points.
The guy,
Oh, yeah.
the guy in the Packers can't make shit.
Yeah.
No, it went from the year of the kicker
Packers
to the year of
stink.
not kicking.
Yeah. It's
Isaac-
so bad.
Isaac watching all these games, he texted Cletus, he's like, I'm putting up uprights.
Yeah, we grabbed some PVC from Outback yesterday, and
Yes.
I think he might be putting them together right now.
Let's
Yes.
go. Yeah, because
We need to have kicking comps. here.
Isaac at football
On Sunday.
on Sunday, he made a 45-yarder.
That's pretty
in
good.
the
With-
rain.
Yeah, with never kicking a football before in his life.
He was a soccer player,
Yeah.
so he's got kicking ability.
But shout out to Cletus too, holder. He
Yep.
was the holder.
Nice. Solid
Yep, I'm
hold.
going to get signed.
Get the laces out of there. Yep.
Get the laces. But oh yeah, crazy stat. But in the first half, Bo Nix had 5 completions for -7 yards.
Pretty good.
In the first half, -7 passing yards on 5 completions.
That's all right. He finished with 60.
Yeah, that's good. 12 for
Yeesh.
25, 60, but a touchdown.
Everyone hated this game.
Oh, it was
pretty
bad.
rough. Just overall, all pretty rough.
There were 4 pass catchers on the Broncos who had 0 yards or fewer. Okay? Nate Adkins, 1 catch, 0 yards.
Nice.
Jaleel McLaughlin, 1 catch, 0 yards. Troy
Ooh.
Franklin, 2 catches, -2 yards.
Nice.
Tyler Beatty, 2 catches, -4 yards. Across those 4 players who had catches, that is -6 receiving yards.
Also, those two people that had negative yards, it's not like it was a one and done thing. They both caught 2 balls.
Yes.
So their average was
Negative.
-1 and -2.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, Tyler Beatty's long catch across his 2 catches was -1 yards.
Ooh. On a better note that we'll head on real quick. What do we think of Braylon Allen so far?
He
mean,
looks.
he
I
looks
don't wanna
real
say
good.
Better than Breece Hall.
No,
he
but,
looks
like,
better
I don't
than
know.
Breece Hall.
He's the better goal line back.
Yeah, he's bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to
Breece-
think of him right now.
Breece Hall is not big enough to be goal line back, so I'm thinking Breece Hall
I think he's
is
big enough.
Is the
He's
3
like
down.
210.
He's the 3 down back until the red zone.
Brees Hall is big enough until you're like, oh, Braylon Allen's over there. Let's
Or-
just bring him in here.
Yeah, 235, if that.
Who's
Probably
their-
like 240.
Who's
Yeah.
their OC?
Nat Hackett?
Nate Hackett.
Okay. If he was a genius and wanted to just start saying, screw it, we're losing dumb games, let's mix it up, they could run a 2 running back,
Well, yeah,
backfield.
he ran it
and they
pretty,
could have so many RPOs because Breece Hall can catch the ball. We've
Yeah.
all
He
seen
can.
that.
Oh, yeah. And they ran it. I mean, Nate Hackett ran it pretty well with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Whenever A.J. Dillon was good, I mean, A.J. Dillon was kind of that heavy hitting back.
Yeah, that was
Big
A.J. Dillon's
thighs.
good years.
big thighs.
Big thighs. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't know. I love watching him just because we're all kind of high on him and watch him coming out. But like he's looking good. Mike Williams is coming back to life on the Jets, which is good to see just because he's been so injured, and he's just such a big-bodied receiver that it's hard to not throw it to him, I'm sure.
And Aaron Rodgers is always going to be throwing to Alan Lazard.
Oh yeah,
I keep it's so annoying. As a Garrett Wilson fantasy owner, it is so annoying to watch Aaron Rodgers throw to his best buddies. Garrett Wilson is. Well, I don't know. Garrett Wilson might be kind of washed this year because now he's wearing.
Because now his sleeves are untucked.
The
Yep.
quarterback sleeves.
I don't get that.
It looks
Same
so
with
bad.
Sauce.
I kind of like it.
It looks so
like
bad.
it.
No, it looks bad.
I do. I like it.
I like it
funny.
on defense. I like it on
Yeah.
a corner, not receiver.
That's
like
fair.
watching a corner just completely dog a guy and have untucked sleeves.
loose
It's like
sleeves, yeah.
it's like such a it's like he's relaxed doing it.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
right.
But
okay,
as a
yeah.
wide receiver, like running routes with it, it looks like he's old and struggling.
Yeah.
It is a tough look, especially when you're like kind of skinnier, like he
Yeah,
is too.
like
like he's
his
he's
his
strong, but
arms
he's
don't even
skinnier.
come close to filling out the untucked
No.
sleeve.
No, he's like if DK Metcalf was doing something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's like,
see,
all right, DK, do your
his
thing. Like,
untucked sleeve would be like
tight on his
very,
arm.
very
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
It'd be like spandex.
Yeah.
It's a funny
I-
look. Yeah.
I keep now that with this Daniel Jones little resurgence from not looking like Daniel Jones, meaning
You're right.
But now I'm seeing memes of like Aaron Rodgers isn't even the best quarterback in New York.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
I mean, honestly,
Don't.
I'm not gonna. No, Aaron Rodgers has not been playing worse than Daniel Jones.
No, he just
But-
threw for 225 yards.
Yeah, but like
In the
Aaron
rain.
Rodgers, people expected him to kind of come back and look like himself. It's like he's not himself.
Oh, he
be
is.
honest.
He just
Nah.
doesn't like
That-
the rain.
Did you not just see his past couple games? I don't want
I-
to hear it. Whatever.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be very.
Well,
I
of
feel
course,
like
he's
it's gonna
40
be very-
years old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like people can't expect him.
But
to
he
be
can still
like-
spin it.
Yeah, he can.
His receiver's sleeves are untucked.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the
That's
issue.
that's what's really weighing him down.
Yeah.
Anyways, though,
That's enough of that game.
so I was looking at just like PFF because we were talking about Braylon Allen.
Oh yeah.
So I was, let me go
Digging
to the-
in a little bit.
Yeah, I was digging in a little bit, and I was looking at rushing grades because I was like, I wonder what Bucky Irving's grading out
Oh,
to.
boy.
I like between rookies. So like
Yeah,
rookies
sure.
who have had like at least 20 carries. Okay.
Yeah.
So the top 3 graded rookies according to PFF.
My boy.
Braylon Allen, number 1.
I got the
number
second one.
2.
Number 2.
Ray Davis.
That's not his name.
go ahead,
Raymond Walter Jamar Davis.
Him. Yeah.
My God.
Zamar's
let's go.
Jamar.
Yeah.
And then number 3 is Bucky Irving.
Not bad.
What team
And-
is Davis on?
Ray
Bills.
Davis, the Bills.
Bills.
I don't even
But,
think I've ever seen him run.
He's kind of the same build as
Oh,
Cook.
yeah.
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 Number 22, something like that.
Yeah. I always
Yeah.
think,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
A lot of
But,
third down
they
special
look the same.
package. Yeah.
But our consensus top running back, us draft brothers, was Braylon Allen coming
And
out.
then, I mean, we had Ray Davis and Bucky Irving up
Right
there.
up there, yeah. Bucky Irving was my RB2. Your guys' is RB3. But anyways, we're
Yeah.
looking pretty good
Looking
to start
pretty
out
good.
the year. Bucky Irving, people are buying into what I'm preaching here.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the Saints-Falcons game. The Falcons won 26-24. Let's start out with the Falcons. I swear every single team that Kirk Cousins is on, that team can never win a clean game. Like, they can't
Yeah.
ever just go out and clobber somebody. Like, it always has to be sloppy. It's, like, never pretty. There were 0 offensive touchdowns for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Here's how the Falcons scored their points.
Here we go.
Let me go through their play-by-play here. So the Falcons, they had a field goal, okay?
Yep.
They returned an interception for a touchdown.
Yep.
They had 2 more field goals.
Nice.
And then they had a field goal, the 58-yarder by Younghoe Koo
Yeah,
to
pretty
finish
good.
out the game.
The
Pretty
young
good.
ho.
Yeah, the Young-Ho, baby. But that final drive kind of speaks to what the Falcons' season has been so far. Like, I still believe in them, but it's been ugly. So
Yeah.
they got down. So they were driving slowly, but then Kirk Cousins passed it deep right to Darnell Mooney. There was a pass interference on Paulson Adebo, one of the Saints corners, and that moved them 30 yards, got them to the Saints 40-yard line. So they're already like, okay, we're
Pretty
kind
good
of
spot.
comfortably.
Yeah.
We're like, it's like, okay, we got 23 seconds left, okay? So let's get some more yards, okay? You would think like let's get a few more yards just to make this a more comfortable kick for Younghoe. Like we believe in him, he's that guy. Okay, so first down, Kirk Cousins, incomplete pass, deep right to Drake London. It's like, okay, this is fine. You got 2 more downs. So like,
two more downs.
Let's run it or
here,
something,
yeah.
or like run it and then
Closer kick.
yeah, just like short passes maybe. Okay, 2nd down, pass incomplete, deep right to Darnell Mooney. No, that brings 3rd and 10, still on the 40-yard line.
Nice.
And mind you, so it's like, okay,
All right, I think I know what we're doing here.
let's maybe get a few yards here because
Yeah.
now we're kind of getting to the edge of it here. We got 13 seconds left. It's like, no, Kirk Cousins, pass incomplete, deep right to Darnell Mooney again. So then they got 0 yards on that from the time that they got that PI. So that they're stuck on the 40-yard line. It's like, well, we believe in you, Koo. And then Koo comes out. He nails it right down the middle. Koo wins the game. It wasn't unfortunately, it wasn't a walk-off. There were 2 seconds left, but
You guys
was
all
a-
blaming Arthur Smith last year. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
all
mean-
him. Because you still get games like this.
Yeah.
Bijan only ran it 7 times. I mean, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
it's,
And Kyle Pitts didn't catch a single ball.
yeah, I love.
It's all
I'm
the
seeing-
same.
I'm seeing memes of like it's like a half-face meme. It's like Raheem Morris on this half and Arthur Smith on this half, and it's like you might have killed the player, but you didn't kill the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate that I
because-
drafted Kyle Pitts in 2 leagues.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's still not really using him. Now I'm kind of starting to doubt Kyle Pitts. Like if Kirk Cousins can't get
Just
you the
now?
ball, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I was
Took you this
blaming
long?
Arthur Smith, but like now I'm kind of blaming Kyle Pitts himself because
Who's the OC down there anymore?
Zach Robinson now. But Darnell
Interesting.
Mooney's having a great season. Drake London is having a great season as well.
Yeah.
So the Falcons offense, they're doing it sloppy, but now they're 2-2.
It was
and
just the way they like it.
I
down
still
in
don't feel
Hotlanta.
great about it, but I got to stick to my guns. But the Saints, Alvin Kamara is that guy.
He is.
Yeah.
And
he
he
is.
had
He's
broken
back.
ribs in this game.
He's
did?
back.
That's why he was limited in practice all week. He still went 19 carries, 77 rushing yards, and a touchdown. And then through the air, he had 7 catches on 9 targets, 42 receiving yards. And this was through a week that he was limited. People thought maybe it was like contract talks related because he's been playing so well. He
Right.
wanted a contract
Yeah.
before the season started. He wasn't able to get one, but he's been playing so well, broken ribs and all. And he's still producing.
A dog.
What is he, 29 years old now, I
Yeah.
want to say?
Yeah, he is.
Baby.
29 years old, born in 95. Wow. But Alvin Kamara is still looking like that guy. So
Dalvin Cook could never.
Dalvin Cook could never. But Derek Carr didn't have any touchdown passes in this game, but he wasn't terrible with 28 passes or 28 completions on 36 attempts for 239 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. But I don't know. This Saints team has kind of fallen back down to earth, and now they play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. But honestly, the Saints will probably keep it close because the Chiefs aren't looking good. So
Yeah, Patrick
you're
Mahomes
right.
is taking out his own players.
yeah.
Yikes.
But I'm please turn it around, Falcons, because I believe in you, and I don't want me to look stupid.
I don't believe in you. Vikings Packers. Vikings went into Green Bay's territory and just smacked them around for the first half.
Yeah,
pretty much.
The final score was 31-27, but it does not show merely how much the Vikings just put a whooping on the Packers. If we just
Jordan Love is back.
Yeah, Jordan Love is
Let's
back
mention
and
that.
throwing picks, baby.
Only 3 of them.
Only 3 of them should. Only 3 should have been 5.
Yeah.
He was filling the stat sheet.
He was.
Was.
Got to get all of those lines.
He wanted
Big
no
numbers.
zeros.
Yep.
No zeros across the
No,
board.
got to get them all.
Yeah, he was looking terrible. If it wasn't for Jaden Reed and
Yeah, 139 yards.
and
on 7
was it
catches.
Musgrave or
Dontavion Wicks?
Well,
Uh,
Dontavian Wicks couldn't catch a cold. Tucker Kraft.
You're
Tucker
right.
Kraft?
He
Yeah,
could,
not
yeah.
Musgrave.
Oh, yeah. tight end.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. He had 7 catches for 139 yards and a touchdown.
Pretty good.
He is.
He's a guy.
He's doing crazy
He's having a
work
year.
this year.
Yeah.
He's. I know he's
He's-
top 5 for wide receivers in fantasy.
He's their most explosive receiver.
Yeah.
Like most.
Oh,
I
for
mean, like
sure.
Christian Watson is fast, but like explosion, it's Jaden Reed.
Yeah. And then, Tucker Kraft, he had 6 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. Dontavion Wicks got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 5 catches on 13 targets. He
Yeah,
had 2
that's
drops in this game. and-
tough look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he should not have had those 2 touchdowns. They should have went to Jaden Reed.
Agreed.
On the ground, they didn't run much because they're behind so much. Josh Jacobs only had 9 carries for 51 yards. Emmanuel Wilson, 8 carries for 27 yards. And, Jaden Reed had a rush, but 2 yards. Packers, terrible first half. Jordan Love does not know what he's doing with that football. He's just placing it near a receiver, not at the receiver.
I feel like he's back really soon. I don't know.
He was
I mean,
limping.
It's good for
he was
him.
limping the entire game.
I'm glad he's back, but it's like, do we really?
No, he's
need
not
to,
supposed to be back.
Yeah, like, do we need to?
Yeah, it was
be
28
throwing
to
him
nothing.
out there right
It was
now?
28-0 with 30 seconds left in the first half.
They're forcing him out there while Malik Willis is having a great, pretty good
He's
season.
playing
as a
good
backup.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to force him out there.
Yeah, they would have lost to the Vikings either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, Sam Darnold, MVP for. I mean, he's gonna be an MVP. If he keeps playing like this, 275 yards on 20 for 28, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Interception was ugly, but other than that, he looked fantastic.
Yep.
On the ground, Aaron Jones, 22 carries, 93 yards. Yeah.
Whew.
Sam Darnold, for whatever reason, had 7 carries for 15 yards. What are you doing?
Just a little scramble drill.
Jay Jetta's always an animal. 6 catches, 85 yards, touchdown.
Yeah, I know his stats haven't been crazy this year, Justin Jefferson's stats, but I feel like
he just impacts the game, every every play.
I feel like this year, I know, other years he's had more stats, but this year I feel like more than others, he's just shown that, yeah, I am the number 1 receiver in the league. And
I think it's because he's just always there for the big play when you need it.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's like you can go to him and he's open or he's making some kind of crazy catch
open.
if he's not open. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's playing just like Randy Moss in 07.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also Jordan Addison's back. Touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
1 rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
rushing touchdown too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they destroyed them in the first half and then they just relaxed. First half they had 28 points. Second half, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure people are going to look at Jordan Love's stat line, and they're going to see 32 of 54 for 389 yards and 4 touchdowns. Colin Cowherd's going to be sucking his dick so hard. But, you got to realize that there wasn't a plan for Jordan Love to come out first game back, throw 54 times. So,
no, but when you're behind 28 to nothing,
yeah,
I mean.
It's of course, most quarterbacks are probably going to get 400 yards.
Yeah. And if you look at the box score, they got 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's obviously a lot of that is garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you only look at the first 3 quarters, they got killed.
Yeah, it was 28-7 until they scored another touchdown to make it 28-14 with 33 seconds left in the third quarter. So they didn't score that. Nobody scored the whole third quarter.
Yeah. It was just stop saying Jordan Love's good. Sam Darnold's going to be the MVP of the league. Vikings, my God, are they well coached?
They are. KOC's an animal. He's so good.
It's crazy.
And Brian Flores on that defense.
Brian Flores should have never got kicked out of
Dolphins.
Yeah, out of Miami. That's a terrible mistake by them.
Yeah, it certainly was. They're looking really good.
But yeah, Vikings, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL right now. And it's close between them and the Bills and the Ravens. I would not put the Chiefs up there because they're dog shit.
Fair.
Yeah.
But their Vikings are definitely one of the top.
I think they're number 1.
They're top tier for sure right now. All right, well, Texans tried to lose to the Jaguars at Texas.
The worst team in the NFL.
The worst team in the NFL. Not even arguably. Yeah, they're clearly looking the worst.
The only one without a win.
Yeah, Texans were really trying to throw it away all game, but they were able to pull it out at the end with a late touchdown from the Texans with 2.5 to go or something like that towards the end of the game. I don't understand this game. I don't know how the Texans, I don't know what's going on with the Texans. They're worrying me right now. They just aren't putting it together or something. I mean, Stroud just, I don't know if it's Stroud or I don't know if it's the rest of their team, but
sophomore slump, baby.
Could be, but I know it's not the receiver. It's Nico Collins, still a guy. He ended up with 12 catches for $150. He's still just going nuclear.
I have a theory about these Texans team.
Lay it on me because they really tried to lose this game, and it's what no one expected.
This is Shanahan offense, okay? So
sure.
it goes by the run game. It kind of relies on the running back. You need that running back to be a quick kind of one cut, get up the field, and make it easier on C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud still had 345 passing yards.
Yeah.
So, like, he did his part. I did my part.
I did my part.
But
whenever you got Damian Pierce out,
Cam Akers is your starter.
Akers is your starter.
But Cam Akers didn't do fucking shit.
He didn't do anything. He
Nailed it.
He didn't do his part. So, like, these past 2 weeks, they've been starting Cam Akers, and the Texans' offense just hasn't looked good as a whole. We saw this last year with
That's
the Packers.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're probably
Jordan
right.
Love didn't really play well until they got Aaron Jones back in the lineup so that he could run the ball and take some pressure off of him. So I think that's what we're seeing here. I think just Texans' team they're struggling to find consistent traction on the offensive side. If you can't run the ball, it's a lot to put on C.J. Stroud's shoulders.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably what it is. And, of course, probably any – we all kind of – I guess I shouldn't say we all, but me personally, I expected it to just be tougher this year for C.J. Stroud just because slump. Well, that's just because everyone's getting to kind of know you. And obviously, no matter like who you see on this roster, no team's ever the same every single year. So, like, it's always going to be different. The whole NFL is different. There's 32 teams. Who knows how many new players and how people are going to fit. But anyways, I'm not worried about C.J. Stroud by any means. I mean, he's still got the receivers, and I'm worried about the rush game, sure. But they were able to score when they needed to pull out the win and just get through this game on to the next one. And Trevor Lawrence looks like hot garbage. So that's about all I need to say on that side of the ball.
In these past 2 games, though, Christian Kirk has picked it back up.
He has.
I left him on my bench again. So I think it's time to try it out.
Oh, my God. I've started him the last 2 weeks. Oh, delicious.
Yeah, I'm
you
going to
try
him
it sometime.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try a heavy dose.
He could have had a lot more fantasy points if Trevor Lawrence could throw the ball worth a shit.
Yeah.
There was one play where he had Christian Kirk had like 5 yards of separation, like 50 yards downfield, and he just overthrew him by like 10 yards.
Sounds like Tyreek Hill last night.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, no, he's getting underthrown by 10 yards. But
yeah.
And Christian Kirk, 12 targets, 7 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. Solid.
It could have been 2 touchdowns.
As we all expected him to be.
Brian Thomas, too, has kind of looked like a complete receiver.
Yeah, he's not looking too bad.
9 targets, 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. He's been doing his part.
Yeah.
You know who hasn't been? ETN.
Yeah.
Getting hurt, coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Tough game, but Texans pulled it out. All right. The Steelers lost to the Indianapolis Colts.
No, they lost to Joe.
You're right. They lost to this motherfucker right here.
Joe
Flacco. I already knew it. I mean, it's probably just because we love this guy. Anthony Richardson got hurt. And who jogs on the field? We all know. Flacco. And we see Flacco come on the field. And me personally, I'm sitting in my house. I damn near turned the game off.
Oh, we all said it.
Because I'm like, well, Steelers are 100,000,000% losing the game now. And they did.
Said it too. We
Yeah.
said it while we were sitting there. It's like, Steelers are losing this game.
Yeah, I walked away from my TV 2 to 3 to 7 times just because I was pissed off.
Our best defensive player that game was Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know what happened in Steelers defense.
And then we benched him.
Yeah.
We had to hurt him.
Yeah.
Why did we do that?
Yeah, I don't know what happened in Steelers defense. They didn't show up, and that's just uncommon for the Steelers. It wasn't normal.
T.J. Watt did nothing in this game.
T.J. Watt did nothing. I mean, the whole team, Deshaun Elliott was probably the top defensive player this week. But
did Herbig do anything?
He got hurt.
Yeah, he got
Herbig
hurt.
only played he played 48 snaps, but he got hurt and left about halfway through.
That's great.
Because he played 48 compared to T.J. Watt's 62, so like a little difference there. But
yeah, and then like George Pickens fumbled one, which he never really does.
No,
but
he should do that more often. He gets so lucky. He always
tries to
runs the ball with one hand.
Yeah, and he
runs it Michael Vick style.
He was spinning and trying to get extra yards, and we can't tell him not to do that
he
because then he wouldn't be
for
the guy.
end zone from the 5-yard line.
You'll have that sometimes. But, I mean, the Steelers'
Yeah.
offense, in all, wasn't all that bad. It's just our defense wasn't there to back it up. I mean, Justin Fields threw for over 300 yards.
Crazy.
Three touchdowns.
We haven't seen that in quite a while. Yeah, threw for a touchdown, ran for 2. And, I mean, our running game wasn't really there. Justin Fields was our top rusher.
Darnell Washington. Oh, my God, he's big.
He's big.
He's big.
He stiff-armed that guy into hell.
Yeah, I don't know if he's out of the ground yet.
And then he hurdled a guy into heaven.
Yeah.
On the same
awesome.
play.
It was crazy.
They
like,
say he's 6'7". There's no way he's that
Yeah.
short. He's bigger than that.
I think he's 6'8".
I thought I heard someone say 6'7", and I'm like, he's not
like
6'7".
270, 275.
He's a big boy. So, like, the offense didn't look all that bad. Pickens ended up with 113 yards, and Justin Fields keeps looking fairly good.
Justin Fields finished as QB1 in fantasy.
I like that. But Cordero Patterson still got some juice in the tank, enough to fill that second role.
33? We looked it up. It was like he's like
For who?
33, 32.
Oh, Cordero? I think
Yeah.
he's 33.
So old.
I'll pull it up right
He doesn't
here.
look too bad, but he's... Yeah, so it was just a weird game because the
33
Steelers...
and a half, baby.
Not bad. Man, he ran a 4.4 whenever he was young. Okay,
Well,
anyways.
yeah, that was bagging.
Yeah,
He
2013.
runs
13, yeah.
He runs a good 4.8 now.
yeah, probably.
Probably.
But
Arthur
anyways,
Smith loved
Same
him.
same as Najee though.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of a weird game, and just in the fact that anyone that's watched the Steelers knows that the Steelers are a defense-first team. They
And
just
the
didn't show
defense
up.
was not there.
And Joe Flacco just decided to come in and kill us all.
And the
Steelers.
Minka unnecessary roughness call was
That was a little...
Yeah, it's
there was
ticky-tacky.
nothing else he could have done.
No,
unless you want
there
him to,
wasn't.
unless you want him to take out the guy's knees.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough situation. That's, I think, a no call.
That one on Anthony Richardson you're talking about?
On the
one?
sideline.
Oh, yeah, I think
It was
It was a receiver, I think.
yeah, it was a
okay.
receiver on the
Because
sideline.
it was a missed throw by quite a bit.
It may have been Josh Downs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. But anyways, he tried to pull up, and there was nowhere for Minka to go. Like, he was, like the announcers were talking about, like, you're running 20 mile an hour. You can't stop. You can't dive that quick. Like, it's just nothing to do there. But
Yeah, it's so dumb.
yeah, but
And-
Flacco's just proven that he's still
He's the best backup quarterback in the league.
100%.
Like, I know we joke about him a lot. Like, man, he's the GOAT, but, like, he actually is good.
Yeah,
still good.
He's probably top 20 just regular quarterbacks in the league.
With what he's proven over the past 2 seasons with the Browns and the Colts,
I
like,
would say so.
with the poor quarterback play we've seen this year, yeah.
You could probably put him above 12 starters.
Yeah.
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 There's a chance.
We could go down the list.
No, I don't want to.
Better than Deshaun
I would rather
Watson's been
not.
playing
Better
on the
than Anthony
Browns.
Richardson.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta
Anthony
talk
Richardson would not have won that game.
Probably
And
not.
also, but Joe Flacco would not have won that game if Steelers got rid of like 3 mistakes. The terrible snap
Yep.
right into Justin Fields' face mask.
Yeah, that was bad.
The George Pickens dumbass fumble.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields interception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
no, he didn't throw a pick.
Or,
No, he
It
didn't.
was fumble.
Oh yeah, his fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 3 things lost us the game. Just 3 things. If you get rid of them, we would have won by probably 10 points.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, also just dumb on Shane Steichen's part. Like, Anthony Richardson, he ran the ball, okay, and then he got hurt. He hurt his hip. He was out for 1 play, okay? Then
Yeah.
Joe Flacco came in for 1 play. Anthony Richardson came back in. And then they did a designed run again. And then he got
Immediately
hurt.
went down.
Immediately went back out.
Yeah.
That's just kind of stupid. Like, as an
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson fan and, like, supporter, it's like, how is that in his best interest? It's like, you know his hip is hurting. Why are you running him? I know that's one of his strong points of his game. One of the only one. The only consistent.
but if you aren't healthy, you can't do it.
But, like, yeah.
You're not Josh Allen.
He's not. Yeah, for some reason, his body's weaker than Josh Allen's, even though it's built the exact
Because
same.
Josh Allen drank milk. He was a farm boy.
Need milk.
Yep.
He's
Milk.
definitely milk.
Milk and a lot of chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grease.
Well, anyways, the next game that we watched was so the Bears somehow. Well, I know
The
how.
Bears.
The Bears beat the Rams 24-18. The Rams takeaway. This team is officially too hurt.
Throw it to Tutu more.
He threw it to Tutu quite a few times.
Not enough.
It was- yeah, what was he? 4 for 82.
Yeah, 6
Um,
targets.
Yeah, 6 targets, 4
Needs
for
to have
82.
at least 10. You only have like 2 receivers and a tight end out there.
Yeah, and you have still no left side of the offensive line. Kyron, he did his part. 19 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. But, like,
Oh, yeah.
you're asking
They were
Matt
way
Stafford
too
to
hurt.
throw to guys who are basically – he didn't practice with any of these guys throughout the offseason because they're all second-teamers.
Yeah.
And
Not
like,
Tutu.
Yeah.
Tutu started last year.
Well, he can't
Yeah.
see Tutu half the time.
Yeah.
He's this big.
But that's true.
5'6", but-
That's why
Yeah.
you can't target him. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't see
Can't
him through
see
the
him.
O-line.
Yeah.
But I
Too
mean,
short.
and people are gonna praise Caleb Williams for this game, but like he didn't have a very good game either. He
No.
went 17 for 23, 157 yards and a touchdown because they finally got the running game going. DeAndre Swift had 16 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. They had been struggling with a rushing game.
Yeah, really bad.
All the first 3 games, and they
Yeah.
finally got it going here, which makes it easier on Caleb Williams. And then whenever you're going against a half of an offense, like the defense is going to find success eventually. So my takeaway for the Bears was that they're up there with the Eagles, in my opinion, as like the most confusing teams in the league right now. Like you have no idea what you're going to get from this team from week to week. Either Caleb Williams is going to try to Will Levis his way into a loss, or the defense is going to like pick him up and be like, stop doing what you're doing, Caleb Williams. Just be calm, and we're going to try to win this game against half an offense. Because the Eagles are the same way. You don't know. We're going to talk about them next. But so much talent on this team, but you have no idea what you're going to get from it because maybe coaching, but I don't know. But Bears, it very well could be coaching with Matt Waldron. He seems like he doesn't know what he's doing as the offensive coordinator. And Shane Steichen should have been fired already. But I don't know what we're going to get from the Bears.
You said Shane Steichen. Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus should have been fired. But I don't know.
But he looks cool.
He looks
He's
cool.
got cool hair.
I don't know what we're going to get from the Bears week to week,
No.
so I don't know what
I
to
think
take
the
from
only
this
thing we
game.
can depend on from the Bears, nothing on the offenses for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we can pretty much bet on they have a pretty good defense and a pretty solid special teams.
Yep.
And because Torrey Taylor, I mean, we don't talk about punting ever, but Torrey Taylor is a stud.
Yeah.
He is a dog. He's a weapon on that punt team straight out of Iowa.
Yeah, they draft him in the 4th round this
Round
year?
kicker, punter, I think.
Yeah.
He's an absolute
Yep, 4th
dog.
round.
Yeah.
Wow, he looks funny. I
think
just
he's,
looked at his headshot.
I think he's an Aussie.
That's good. Oh, okay.
He might have been.
He went to Iowa, so he's,
straight out of Iowa.
yeah. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, that's I think is about all we can bet on. We can't. Yeah, like you're saying, we can't. This is like a typical rookie quarterback offense. Just being that we can't really rely on anything right now because nothing's really set.
Yeah,
I guess ever. It
Rams
seems
just
like.
need to get healthy, and it's not going to happen anytime soon.
No. Best of luck.
All right. Well, on to the Eagles-Bucks game where the Bucks asserted their will on the Eagles. Yep.
Yeah.
Just like that, too.
Yeah. Baker was bacon.
Baker was bacon. I guess we'll start on the Buccaneers side. Baker, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Receiving, Mike Evans always gets a touchdown.
So
Go figure.
good. Yeah, so
94 yards on 8 receptions. Chris Godwin still showing that he's there. 69 yards, 6 receptions.
Still a really
Cade
good,
Otton
reliable
coming
third
out of
down
nowhere.
guy. Yeah, Cade Otton too.
Cade Otton coming out of nowhere, 6 receptions as well, 52 yards. Sterling Shepard had that one big play.
Yeah, Baker was dealing.
Yeah, he was just slinging it. He threw it to 8 different people. He's just like, yeah, you're open. Oh, you're open too. Mike Evans, you always come down with it. Yeah, he was just slinging that thing. And then on the ground, Bucky Irving and Rachaad White both had the exact same stat line, 10 carries, 49 yards, but Bucky Irving had a touchdown.
Hell yeah.
Go Bucky.
He deserves it because he's the better one.
Yep.
Even though they had the exact same stat
Yeah,
line.
this week they did, yeah.
Their defense played great. Offense, obviously, great. I mean, it was just a great performance by the Buccaneers. Nothing you can say else. Eagles side, though.
Oof.
Defense. Couldn't make a tackle to save their life. There was that one play. He threw it to, I think it was Chris Godwin. It was like a little bubble route. Threw it to Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin caught it, started running, and then, I forget the corner's name, but he just went to spear tackle him and completely missed him. Like 2 yards away from him, and what would have been only like a 2-yard gain ended up being like a 14-yard gain. Like it was the funniest play. I was like, what the hell is going on? Jalen Hurts only had 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Oh, God, it was so bad. Well, to be fair, their first and second string wide receivers was hurt, just like the Rams.
Yeah, A.J. Brown and
Devontae
Smith were both out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley didn't even do that well. 10 carries, 84 yards, no touchdowns. Jalen Hurts had a tush push.
But, they run. We've been saying it all week or every week. Like, run Saquon more. Only 10
only
carries?
10 carries.
10 carries?
Whenever he's getting 8.4 yards per carry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stop the guy.
What, I know you're behind, but you clearly can't throw. Saquon's
their best weapon now.
Let me read you the receivers for this game.
Please.
Top best to worst. Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. He's a running back.
Grant Calcaterra.
Yep. The backup tight end.
Yeah,
Paris
backup
Campbell.
Ugh.
Jahan Dotson.
Wow.
John Ross. Jack Stoll.
We have Jahan Dotson. Why is he not good? Like, why do they not try to throw it to him more? Because he is should be not bad.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, you think he should be better than Paris Campbell at this point in their careers?
Should be, yeah. Yeah.
But it's what we got.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert's still a guy.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley should be ran more, like we say often. It feels like
Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert are doing their parts.
they are doing their parts.
I did my part.
Even on defense, not a single interception and only 2 sacks. They didn't do jack shit.
Yeah, it was tough.
That brings us to our
I'm
next
a little worried
game.
about the Eagles. Sorry,
yeah,
didn't mean to
honestly,
step on
I'm
you.
concerned.
No. Yeah. All right, that brings us to our next game. This was a game where there were 7 total fumbles. It wasn't rainy. It was not rainy. There
was
were
just shit.
7 total fumbles. It was the 49ers. They clapped the Patriots 30-13.
Clap.
7 fumbles, 5 of them from the quarterbacks. It wasn't good. So for the Patriots, I've come to a conclusion here that it is time to actually try to throw the ball. Why don't we, give that a try? Now, I know that Jacoby Brissett is not a world beater. It's not like he's going to win you any games.
No, but he's a formidable backup.
He's a formidable backup. He's been proven that he can come in and make some plays here and there. But as of right now, I know Cody's a Ramondre supporter, but and I have him on my fantasy team, so I kind of have to support him. But he's not an explosive running back.
No.
Antonio Gibson is very inconsistent.
Yeah.
In order for you to consistently run on the ball, you need to have either a good offensive line or a good running back, and they don't really have either an explosive running back who can do it on his own.
Right.
Ramondre is just kind of not that. He's a brawler, and
he's a similar rusher to Najee Harris, just
Yes.
with less talent. Even
Yeah.
he's up there, but just not
I think they're
quite
about
as
the
much.
same guy. Probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't think so, but go on.
Either way, they you can't rely on that as your offense.
No,
So,
they're wanting you want a 1-2 punch in your run game. They only got a left hook.
they've got
that's it.
a 2-3 punch. There was no first punch.
That's true. Yeah.
So they get socked in the face first, and then it's so you're already kind of dizzy.
They
and
try
it's
to counter. Yeah, just throwing hands.
Spinning. But honestly, I want to see them try to throw the ball because running the ball is not working, and now the Patriots are finally looking like the team that we all thought they were going to be to start off this season.
We're rounding into form.
And it's not a good form.
No.
But the 49ers, it brings me to them. They have the schemes that allow for everyone to succeed on both sides of the ball. They had 3 defensive tackles not named Javon Hargrave, who is one of the best D tackles in the league.
Yep.
He was out this game. They had 3 other defensive tackles recording at least 1 sack. This team had, let me read you the names of these guys. Some of them, one of them I've never heard. Kevin Givens had 2.5 sacks.
Dang.
Kevin Givens, you know what Kevin Givens
I don't
does?
know.
I think he lives down the street.
Yeah, seriously. Malik Collins had 1.5 sacks. They traded for him from the Falcons throughout the offseason. And then Evan Anderson, undrafted free agent, number 69. You know
white?
he's going to get a sack. He's not.
Certainly not.
His name's Evan?
His name's Evan Anderson. He had a sack in there, too.
Whitest black guy's name.
So he had three defensive tackles with a sack. So we know that the offense can succeed with just about throwing the ball to anybody. Juwan Jennings had another great game.
Yeah.
3 catches for 88 yards, but they didn't have to do too much on the offensive side of the ball because Patriots' offense is ass. But anyways,
pretty bad.
On the defensive side of the ball, now we're seeing that they can succeed with anybody too.
Yeah.
So it sounds
Fred
like
Warner with a touchdown.
Oh, Fred Warner
Yeah.
is still that guy. He's still so fucking good.
So good.
That was a crazy interception. He had
Yeah,
to
it
was.
jump, vertically leap as high as he could, and then come down, land his jump, catch his balance, and then still ran it in for a touchdown. It was crazy. I'm excited for Dre Greenlaw to come back.
When's he coming back?
I don't know.
I don't know his time.
I'm excited for Dre Greenlaw to come back so that they have the Thunder to go with that lightning that they
It's
got right
always
now.
terrible for someone to get injured in the Super Bowl because then they're not going to be back to midway through next year.
Yeah, it's especially with an Achilles. That's so tricky.
He's on the pup right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're shooting for could return as early as week 5, but that'd be aggressive with an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
So it's
mid-season.
Yeah, it'd probably be
Hopefully.
mid-season.
Like
but,
week 8.
But yeah, I'm excited for him to come back because his 49ers team, now they're only 2-2, but it's good to see that they beat up on the bad teams. So I
Right.
wanna see
While
that.
we're talking about 49ers injuries, let's talk about CMC.
Yeah.
He went to
Germany.
we mentioned last week that he went
Germany.
to Germany for stem cells. And then we found out later this week that he has Achilles tendonitis in both Achilles.
Oh no, it's spreading.
Because he's accommodating, walking, running funny.
Yeah,
So then-
I just feel bad. I don't even care about the 49ers.
Come on, CMC.
You got to let the fantasy people know this because Jordan Madison knew that he was going to be the starter for week 1.
Jordan Mason. You say Madison?
Whatever.
Yeah, anyways.
We get
Whatever.
it. That guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, he knew that he was going to be a starter for week 1, so they knew that there was something up. They gave us a little hint. He has. They were kind of passing it off under the rug like it was a cramp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Christian McCaff injury.
But
It's
then
more than a calf injury.
They found out that there's something wrong with his Achilles.
Yeah.
And they've been hiding that it was both of his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
This man can't run anymore.
Mm.
The Madden curse continues.
Luckily, stem cells work wonders, and I think he will come back as 100% when he does because he's using stem cells. But otherwise, he would not be the same person.
They said he's going to try to return to practice this week.
Come on, man.
Because stem cells are ridiculous.
Magic.
Yeah. It regrows shit that you should not be able to regrow.
We even said, I think Carson's been the one who's preaching it. He said before the season, he's like, CMC is so due for an injury. And then,
I said that. That's why I traded him. That's why I traded him in Dynasty.
It's the Madden curse,
I said
man.
he's due for an injury, so I'm getting rid of him.
And now McCracken's team is looking like ass.
Yep.
Right?
The Madden curse.
Cletus, your Cardinals. I always give you the Cardinals games because
They're mine.
kind of your
They're
team.
mine.
Your
They're mine.
team. Yeah. I'll
They
give
look
them
pretty
to you.
good this game, right?
No.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I was looking at the score backwards.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll start on that side. Kyler Murray, he just didn't seem very accurate, even though he was 16 for 22.
He wasn't comfortable.
No, he was doing a lot of checkdowns whenever Marvin Harrison, he had that one touchdown in that corner of the end zone. But yeah, he only had 5 receptions. That's your main guy, and I feel like you got to give him the ball more. And then the second leading receiver was Greg Dortch.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Baby.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Trey McBride.
He was out.
Yeah, but
that doesn't help.
You never really throw it to him much, anyways. So I don't know. He just didn't seem comfortable in the game. Only 142 passing yards. That's really low for Kyler Murray. He was still running, doing his thing for only 3 yards. James Conner, he had himself a pretty good game. 18 carries,
He's
104
pretty
yards,
good.
and a touchdown.
This season.
Yeah, I like it.
29 years old, little resurgence.
I'm
Yeah.
a big James Conner fan.
I mean,
I always
29
root for
years
him.
old must just be the year of
the year.
the running back.
I think
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is 29 too.
Yeah,
Probably.
there it is. James Conner getting a touchdown won me like $400.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cardinals defense. Everyone knows it's dog shit. Doesn't matter.
But that Commanders defense,
That Commanders
we
defense,
may not be able to call them Swiss cheese anymore.
No,
they are moving to a soft cheddar.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like
a very
a
soft
warm
cheese.
cheddar. That
Yeah,
you can
a little bit.
that you can poke
Yeah.
your finger into, but you
Yeah.
can't see through it.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jaden
Great
Daniels, it's like he threw an interception this game. So
He
it's
did.
like that scene in Rocky 4 where Rocky punches the Russian and
Yep.
he starts bleeding. It's like, he bleeds, he's human.
Get him!
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was like when Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels finally threw a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even though he was still 26 for 30.
He didn't get sacked at all.
So good, man.
He threw a touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown. He rushed for 49 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Brian
So
Robinson had a shit ton
21
of carries. 21
carries.
carries for 101 and a touchdown.
He looked really good.
Jeremy McNichols, 8 carries, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I
Never even heard of this guy.
No, like you can't give that credit. Like McNichols has been a backup. Let me see how old he is because he's been in the league for a while.
He has been in the league for a while.
28 years old.
Yeah.
So he's been around. He's been just like basically a special teams guy. So you can't give. Sorry, McNichols. I'm not going to give you the credit. I'm giving the credit to Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Like Eckler's out. Like
good.
that's fine. Like we can run it with anybody.
Yeah.
McNichols goes in. He's like.
To quote Carson after McNichols got his first touchdown, Carson's really high on Jaden Daniels, and he has him in a couple leagues. Carson said, "Who the f*** is this guy?"
Yeah.
Carson was like,
Yeah.
"Why did he get a touchdown?"
Yeah.
He's like,
2 touchdowns.
McNichols.
Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of what we thought.
Oh yeah, like you have to give the credit to Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels because he's throwing to Terry McLaurin. Okay, we know he's like a number 1 receiver. Yeah, Alamedy, Zacchaeus, and Noah Brown are his other 2 receivers that he's throwing to.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz,
Zach Ertz,
who's been on like 4 teams this year.
he's like 59 years old.
Yeah,
But yeah,
touchdown ring though, or
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah,
back
yeah.
in like 2016.
Yeah.
But like all the credit needs to go to Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury. They're figuring it out
Oh, yeah.
fast.
For sure.
They got their shit cooking.
Yeah,
It's cooking.
they're like the Vikings, just with less skill on defense.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have it. Well, I mean, Dan Quinn is. I feel like he's
He's not as
figuring
good as
it
Brian Flores.
right.
So, yeah, but
But Commanders-
they remind me a lot of the Vikings right now.
Right now, the way they're cooking on offense.
Yeah,
3-1 now. Commanders are in the lead for the NFC East. They're
Man.
going to win this division.
I hope they win this division.
I mean, we're 4 weeks in, but like Commanders' last 2 games.
I mean,
look dominant.
if you're thinking about it, Giants suck.
Yeah.
Cowboys looking like
Might
shit.
suck. Yeah.
Eagles really suck.
Giants might not finish last.
The Commanders
They
might
may
win
not.
this
Yeah.
division for the
It's-
first time in
That
like
would be crazy,
a long
man.
time.
Competition right now is looking pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
In that NFC East.
the Commanders
Man.
are looking strong. Everyone else is looking shit.
Yeah.
All right, the next game. I hate doing the goddamn Chiefs.
Sorry. I'll put a note down for you.
No, you can keep putting me on it. Just have an asterisk next to it, like.
Well, I wanted you to talk about
Cletus
the
is gonna
Patrick
be pissed.
Mahomes play with Rasheed Rice.
Oh, I do love that play.
I like
that
Cletus's
play.
narration.
All right. So Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
He's in the pistol. Yeah, he was.
I think he was-
No, he's in the shotgun.
Shotgun
He was in the
formation.
shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws the ball. Throws a pick. He's like, shit. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know. They'll completely forget it if I tear out Rasheed Rice's ACL.
Oh, no.
He just like
Now
turned,
everyone's like, he threw a pick? When did he do that?
I mean, that's very true.
It was an ugly play.
It was.
Because Patrick Mahomes, he went to like make a typical quarterback / kicker /
Just
punter
sit down.
tackle.
Sit down in front of him.
Right on Rasheed Rice's foot as he twisted his knee.
Over his shoulder pad. It was disgusting.
We don't need to show these reviews on TV in slow motion
I
4
love it.
times.
I love it every time.
No!
I call for it. I'm like, oh my god, show that again.
I don't need to watch this.
great.
And I don't.
There's an argument that is the worst play of Patrick Mahomes' career.
Yeah, it's like the worst 5 seconds, arguably
It
one of the
probably
worst
is.
5
I mean,
seconds in NFL
I
history.
can't. Yeah, well,
Most
not
den-
in history because like there's RG3 and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
well, there's DeMar Hamlin.
But definitely in Patrick Mahomes' career, that's
That's
definitely
his
the
worst play.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think we can say that.
Cause-
And they still won the motherfucking game.
Yeah.
That's the way the Chiefs do it.
Yeah,
I
We
got-
know it.
I
pissed
got
me off.
beef with the Chargers, okay? Like,
Okay.
I know that Jim Harbaugh, he's been okay. He's done okay with what he had, okay? But, like, you had the opportunity to get more. Like, I don't believe that Justin Herbert is that great. I still think he's, like, a top 10 quarterback, but he hasn't just proven a whole lot. But, like, you have to get him receivers in the offseason.
You do.
Like, it comes down to if you can't run the ball against this good Chiefs defense, which they were having trouble with, J.K. Dobbins
Chris
only had-
Jones was just having his way.
yeah, J.K. Dobbins, 32 rushing yards. Gus Edwards only 19. Like, if you're only running for like 50 yards on the ground total in the game,
It's not going to win you ball games.
Yeah, you're coming up against like 3rd and 8s then. And then who the hell is Justin Herbert going to throw to? There was
Lad
nobody.
McConkey.
You can't depend on a rookie Lad McConkey every single
Who's
time.
only
As
going
good
to
as he
go
is.
short. He's only going to go short and then try to make something happen after the catch. Like, it's just they need somebody to throw to, and it's not going to happen this season. So like that was my fear with the Chargers coming in. People are like, "Oh, they're going to make the playoffs." It's like, who the f*** are they going to throw to?
A white
they're
guy.
They're going to have to throw.
They're throwing it to a white guy.
White guy. And
Yeah.
Who does that?
Lad's been
The
trying.
Panthers last year?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And how did that end up for them?
Not good.
They worst in the NFL.
Not so great. Yeah.
Xavier Worthy fantasy owners are jumping in their seats like me right now. I have him in the one league.
Cody has both Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. So.
I do.
Well, at least he has Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
But Rashee Rice
Have
was
you
like,
dropped Rasheed Rice yet?
No, Dynasty League.
Dynasty League.
Oh.
He was the number one
Yeah.
receiver.
That's even worse. You have to keep him.
He was
Yeah.
the number one wide receiver on the season, Rashee Rice was.
Yeah, he was. Him and Chris Godwin were tearing
He
it
had
up.
24 catches. No other receiver on the Chiefs has double digits.
No. Yeah, I think Xavier Worthy, if you take his 3 out this game, I think he only had 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was
I
bad.
mean, I guess we can mention it. Travis Kelce's kind of back. I mean, he kind of had to be.
He had
but
to be, but I think he's going to just put his thumb back up his ass after this game.
I hope so.
All right.
So, everyone get ready for the Noah Gray revenge tour.
He looks so much faster, so much more
Hey,
agile.
it's
than Kelce.
probably just because he is. I mean, Kelsey's getting older. That's all.
So, who do you think
He's
they're
still smart.
going to trade for wide receivers?
Oh, shoot. Devontae Adams is on the market.
There's no
He
way.
is.
No way.
Tyreek Hill?
That'd be hilarious.
He needs a quarterback.
No, they're not going to trade Tyreek.
No.
We'll get to that game, but
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know who's really in the market.
Amari Cooper.
yeah, probably.
I could see that.
Probably anybody on the Jags. Jags are 0-4. Christian Kirk could be on the market.
Oh.
I think he's coming up. Christian Kirk.
That's my
he's
boy.
Probably like, this is his 3rd year on his deal. He signed a 4-year deal, so
Yeah.
he's coming on a contract year coming
year.
up. Christian Kirk could be going there.
I would not mind that.
Give it to
The
me.
Jags kept losing. I think it's trade deadline's now like week 9, so like we
Yeah,
got time
week
to
9.
see how.
What do you think they'd be willing to give up? Like a second round? They wouldn't give.
No
a first.
way.
They wouldn't give a first for him.
No. It'd be
I was
like
thinking
3rd.
like 3rd or 4th.
Probably like 3rd.
The way that,
I'd give a third for Christian Kirk.
Oh yeah,
Probably 3rd.
But I mean, we think all these guys are going to go for so high, but they've only been going for like low numbers. Is what we feel like.
Christian Kirk's contract, he was signed, I think it was like 4 years, $84 million. Which is
At
like,
the time, it was crazy, but now it's like
$21 million
kinda
a year?
underpaid. He's underpaid.
that's couch change.
Yeah. Like the market
Yeah.
skyrocketed right after
Yeah.
he signed that.
Yeah.
He was like, God damn it!
I could see him definitely getting traded, but we don't know.
That'd be
But
crazy.
to wrap up this game, this is another game where the Chiefs didn't look good on offense.
But
and
they just win.
their
defense.
Yep.
Spags.
Did Joe
Yeah.
Alt go out?
He missed this game.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I not go.
Like,
yeah, I guess
he
not
looks
go
like
out.
a
But
12-year-old.
he does. He got such a baby
so
face.
Yeah,
young.
and then he's 6'7".
But he's like, oh, you're like
Yeah,
6'7", 6'8", 6'9".
It's like
Yeah.
looking straight up at a
No,
giant
he's
baby.
6'9".
Yeah, I was gonna say. He's
Oh
6'9".
my God.
He's a big
Yeah.
old boy.
What's his wingspan? Isn't it like 8'1"?
Probably.
Joe.
I don't know.
That's a liability for holding.
His numbers. Yeah, his numbers are ridiculous. I don't know how he
a
keeps his hands
wingspan
inside.
of 82 3/4 inches.
So that's just under 7 feet.
Yeah, that's 6'10",
6'10" and 3/4.
6'10" and 3/4.
Almost. Yeah, almost 7 feet.
Well, let's get into another game that was absolutely terrible. We just mentioned the Browns, and
Garbage.
we said before the game the Browns shouldn't be favored against anybody. Even in a game where the Raiders looked terrible, they still beat the Browns 20-16.
I love it.
And like Deshaun Watson didn't even have his worst game ever.
No.
So this wasn't not that he did his part, but like it wasn't all his fault. So my takeaway for the Browns is that I said could have been worse, but they lost to the Raiders in a game where the Raiders were bad. So that's like a bad sign for
It
the
is.
team.
Yeah, they don't look good.
Like honestly, the Browns. If you're looking at the stat sheet and you're watching the game, it's like watching the game, it was like ugly. It's like this team can't do anything. But looking at the stat sheet afterwards is like, they didn't look like they should have been too bad, but because, I mean, Jerry Jeudy somehow came alive for 72 receiving yards on 6 catches. Jerome Ford ran for 5.8 yards per carry on 10 rushes. But it was just it's just where the Raiders just somehow eked out a win. Trey Tucker
own the AFC North.
They own the AFC North. Because they beat
The Ravens.
the Ravens. That's the Raiders'
did.
2 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll be playing the Steelers and Bengals then too. Because AFC West got to play. Well, actually no, because they're in the same conference, so no, they don't have to play. And it doesn't matter.
All the West plays the North.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot that the NFL lined it up like that every year. But anyways, Gardner Minshew only went 14 for 24 and 130 yards. They only let him throw 34 times, which in a game where they were down 10-0 after the first quarter, I don't know. I know Gardner Minshew hasn't looked great all season long, but we've been praising him that he has looked better than expected. So I think that's my takeaway for the Raiders is that you need to let him throw the ball because Zamir White on the ground had 17 carries for 50 yards. That is not good.
No.
You can't expect to, just same way with the Patriots, you can't expect to win if you don't have a good offensive line or an explosive running back who can make plays on his own, which Zamir White is not that. So, Gardner Minshew isn't the best quarterback in the league, but I feel like you need to let him throw because Trey Tucker did well in this game, 5 catches for 41 yards. Jacoby Myers was doing his part, 5 catches for 49 yards. Obviously those aren't great numbers, but we didn't know what Trey Tucker was, but he's a very explosive, kind of deep threat receiver. Get Brock Bowers the ball more. He only had 3 targets in this game, but just Antonio Pierce, just throw. Throw,
feed
please.
it to Brock Bowers.
Zamir White is not that guy. Just throw. That's all I've got to say. And maybe it'll be better for this Raiders team, but I don't know. It's been very hit or miss unless they're playing the AFC North.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Yep. The Baltimore Ravens at home beat the Bills handily, 35-10, where the Bills just looked like kind of garbage, kind of lost, kind of nothing, couldn't get anything going consistently. A couple of fumbles here and there, and Josh Allen didn't throw a pick, but he did have a fumble. Some messed up plays where I think Josh Allen got a little shaken up. So they just didn't look great. No real outstanding stats or players or anything on that side of the ball. But if you go to the other side of the ball, no, that ain't Derek. That's King Henry. He is still king. 24 carries, 199 yards. I mean,
that sucks.
This guy is bowling people over still. He's just unstoppable. And I don't know how old he is, 28, 29.
He's faster
like
than
that.
every single person in the Bills
ridiculous.
Secondary.
He was running away from the Bills secondary.
Damar Hamlin was having a heart attack.
Yeah, the Baltimore kind of came back to life this game after that rough week before that. Lamar threw 2 touchdowns, only had 156, but who cares? He threw 2 touchdowns. He ran for 54 yards. He had another touchdown running. Derrick Henry, like I just said, was crazy. And that's really where Baltimore shined this game. They just beat him with the run all game. And their defense was playing super hard, too. And Kyle Hamilton had some good plays thrown in there. The Bills just couldn't figure it out. That's at the end of the day, they just couldn't figure it out. Didn't have enough offense. Specifically this game. Well, I shouldn't say that. They couldn't tackle Derrick Henry to save their life.
Woo!
Yeah, no chance at all. King Henry, he's still an absolute stud where people are probably doubting him because he's getting older. But, I mean, in this offense with, their coach from Georgia, whatever his name is. Blanking?
John Harbaugh?
No, the OC.
Oh, Todd Monken.
Todd Monken. There it is. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how people could have bet against it. When you got Lamar, Derrick Henry, and freaking Patrick Ricard mowing people over.
Yeah, 300-pound fullback.
That's a recipe for success.
He's so big.
He's so big. So, yeah, Baltimore absolutely dominated the Bills this game. It didn't even look close.
I could tell that the Ravens were going to kill him as soon as Derrick Henry had that run. I watched all the morale on the Bills bench
died.
just...
Yep.
I was like, yeah, it's
was
gonna
that
be
the first play of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their first.
I think Baltimore's first.
Well, Bills had the ball first, but it was Baltimore's first snap from scrimmage.
Yep. One play,
87 yards.
Yep.
pissed me off. I was against him in a close race in fantasy.
Yeah, the Ravens were due for like a beat-up game.
And this was it.
This was it.
They handed it to the Bills.
None of us saw it coming because the Bills were so dominant.
You know, if you're gonna get,
none of us saw it.
I'd rather get beat to shit one week than beat a little bit every week.
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
Like if it's every like third game you get beat to shit, it's not very good. But it's better than getting like a little bit of beating every now and then. Like you can heal quick, but it's hard to heal quick when you keep getting the shit kicked out of you a little bit.
You're right.
That's true, yeah.
Like why not just break my rib instead of bruising it every week?
True that.
Very true.
Just wearing you there.
Yeah, the Bills will bounce back, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have Josh Allen.
Yep.
End of story.
And that's about it.
Yeah, that's end of story. They'll bounce back.
So Titans finally got a win.
Boo.
It was 31-12. They beat the Dolphins, but the Dolphins were struggling all game long.
Very badly.
The Titans, Will Levis got hurt on the second drive of the game. He was diving for a first down, and he landed right on his shoulder. I think he should have got the first down, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He was making plays with his legs. He had already thrown an interception on the first drive.
Attaboy.
He didn't get benched, though, for some odd reason. And then, then he went out, and Mason Rudolph came in, and they didn't ask him to do a whole lot, and he only went 9 for 17 for 85 yards. So, like, obviously, Will Levis has made mistakes, but, like, Mason Rudolph doesn't bring any excitement to an offense.
No.
Looking at him wearing the number 11 is just weird.
It is weird. It doesn't look
super
right.
weird.
I almost, couldn't recognize who he was.
I miss his 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Roman numerals.
Oh, yeah.
There. We're back.
But my takeaway for the Titans is that Brian Callahan and his dad / offensive line coach, one of the best in the league, Bill Callahan, have seen what the Steelers, Chargers, Patriots have been doing to limit struggling and subpar QB play. Run the ball. The Titans finally ran the ball. They only let Mason Rudolph throw it 17 times, as I said. Tony Pollard had 88 yards on the ground. Tyjae Spears was a lot less efficient.
Yeah.
But either way, both of them got rushing touchdowns, and the leading receiver was tied between Tyler Boyd and DeAndre Hopkins. They both had 31 yards through the air because this Dolphins team couldn't do anything. With Tyler Huntley, he's only been there for 2 weeks.
You mean what?
Tyler Huntley.
Snoop Huntley.
Yeah.
You said Tyler Boyd, though.
Did I? Oh, yeah. Tyler Boyd was tied for the leading receiver on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
But Tyler Huntley, going to the other side, took over as the Miami quarterback for this week, 2 weeks in with the team. And this is it's a complicated offense to learn, a Shanahan offense. It's like there's so many motions. You got to time everything right.
Yeah, he's just not Baker Mayfield. That's all. Mayfield could do it.
I mean, he did. He went into McVay, the Rams game where he just comeback victory. But anyways, Tyler Huntley, even coming to the end of the game, he was hiking the ball too early, and the guys weren't set yet because on every single play there's somebody in motion on the Dolphins
every
offense
time,
because usually they figure out the coverage.
That's what they live on.
Yeah, but he was snapping it too early, and their guys weren't set, and then it's just gonna take some time for Tyler Huntley to learn this offense because it's only 2 weeks onto this team.
Yeah.
But my takeaway for the Dolphins, surprisingly, I'm not worried about the Dolphins offense because at the end of the game, whenever Tyler Huntley did make some plays, it looked pretty darn good. You got speed at literally every single position on this Dolphins team, and now you got speed at the quarterback position. It's he ran for some long third down, on some long third down plays for some first downs, and he looked pretty good. Now, they only scored 12 points, but give the guy a break. It's 2 weeks into his time on the Dolphins. He still looked just as good as Skylar Thompson has 3 years on the Dolphins.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So, give the guy a break. I think they got enough weapons on this team, obviously, that I think the Dolphins will be fine. It's just going to take some time for him to learn what he's doing there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree. I don't know. I agree. It's just tricky because I think their defense is a little bit concerning because what's his name got
Jalen Phillips left the game.
Yeah, I thought he came back or something for a little bit though. But anyways, he got dinged up.
He'd been wearing a knee brace all year, and he was just fighting through the pain and couldn't take it.
But I think Snoop Huntley's definitely got a lot of room to grow. But there's too much talent on Miami.
Tyreek Hill was so frustrated because he was open 3 or 4 times deep, and Tyler Huntley underthrew him twice, and then he somehow overthrew him by 2 or 3 yards. And so Tyreek Hill could have had 3 touchdowns, like long touchdowns. It could have ended this game with like 200 receiving yards, but it's just going to take some time to get on the same page.
Yep, it certainly will. The Lions put a whooping on them Seattle Seahawks at home at Detroit. It was a pretty good pounding by the Lions pretty much all game. No crazy really receiving. It seemed like kind of just a ground and pound game for a lot of that game with some good passes just kind of thrown in there. And then
One by Amon-Ra.
Yeah, one by Amon-Ra. Awesome trick play. Amon-Ra put it right in Jared Goff's bucket.
Yeah.
Jared Goff with the late hands. He's just running, then just bloop right here. Yeah, that was a really cool play. That was just that's what you always like to see when you're watching the Lions play. Like they always have a little something up there, Dan Campbell's
hoo-ha.
super tight sleeve because he's jocked. But yeah, so it was just kind of the beating by the Lions all game. They tried to let them come back. The Lions tried to let Seattle come back, but so I was getting a little worried, and I was kind of watching. This game was getting close. I'm like, all right, this is going to prove a lot to me what the Lions are right now. And they were able to hold them off, keep scoring, scored more. And I'm like, yep, I am not worried about the Lions at all. They're throwing to everybody. Jamison Williams is still good. Still had a big game. Jahmyr Gibbs scored 2 touchdowns, and he's just electric every single play.
Even running between the tackles.
Oh, yeah, he's getting a lot better at that. And Amon-Ra and Laporta and Tim Patrick and Montgomery.
Tim Patrick,
yeah. So Lions are looking very, very good.
Especially
still.
with the best-looking helmet in the league.
The black unis.
That helmet was the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
The
uniform,
the chrome blue lion. Yeah.
Uniforms were sweet. I need one of those uniforms. Helmets, I couldn't not see Carolina Panthers.
I love the Panthers uniform too.
Oh yeah, Panthers are sweet.
So,
but I'm like, I wish that the blue was a little more baby blue. But I know that's Panthers too.
I was about to
so
say baby blue is that was their color.
I wish they had the blacked out helmet to match.
No, seeing that helmet made me really want to buy one, like really bad.
I liked it, but I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. I couldn't. The uniform was sick. I loved it, but either way, like I said, Seattle tried to come back. Geno Smith was making some good passes, and DK was being dominant as always. Smith and Jigba had quite a few targets. I think he had 12. He had 12 targets, so he had a pretty decent game. K9 had a monster game with 3 touchdowns on the ground, but it wasn't enough to keep up with the Lions because that's kind of what it was this game. Detroit's defense wasn't really there. There wasn't much mention of Hutchinson. It wasn't there. Terry and Arnold was getting absolutely cooked.
Oh my.
Every time.
He's so terrible.
He
was
an
8 my guy for me. He was he was the consensus, world consensus cornerback
number
1.
Yeah.
He was our cornerback 7 or something.
Yeah, something like that. The Draft Brothers. Cornerback 7.
That was the one thing that I saw that it was so blatant. I said, if the Lions fall the season and fail, it's gonna be because of their cornerbacks. Because rookie Terrion Arnold, he has 8 penalties on the season, 5 of them pass interference through 4 games. That's terrible.
It's not very good.
Carlton Davis was getting cooked. He was battling DK Metcalf all game and losing. He was losing.
Oh, Carlton Davis was. Yeah, he was getting cooked.
And Amik Robertson as their slot corner, he wasn't he was looking the best out of all of them, and it still wasn't good. Geno Smith was passing all over the yard on him.
Yeah, he threw for almost 400 yards.
Yeah,
trying to catch back up. But either way, that's going to be the exact reason why they lose because the rest of their defense is solid. I mean, I'm saying they didn't have a great game. They let up 29 points. But that's a lot because of those corners. Because the rest of their team, I mean, you still have Aiden Hutchinson. He's still setting the edge. He was getting pressure all night long.
He had 15 pressures on that game.
Yeah, he was in there
15
all game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And you still have Jake Bates in the very back end. And Kirby Joseph had a good game.
Oh, yeah.
You still got Luscious Locks, Anzalone. And, so they're pretty solid. But, yeah, those corners are the leaky, the squeaky wheel. But yeah, either way, Lions prove that they can still run. They can run the numbers up and just be dominant when they need to. And that's exactly what they did. So who we glazing today? Let's get into this Chris Collinsworth glaze segment.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to give it to Derrick Henry. He set the tone right out of the gate, and he's the reason that they won that game. Like he could have just been the only reason.
Yeah.
Like he was the only player they needed. And I mean,
199 yards on the ground. Yeah.
Crazy, man.
You can't not glaze that man.
Absolutely crazy.
He set the tone for the game.
Yeah.
Josh Allen would have played better if he didn't do that the first snap.
Oh, instant deflator.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tom Brady.
Sure. Yeah. Cody, do you have a guy ready, or you want me to go?
let's have you go next.
All right. Well, there's an easy one, and there's one.
I took the easiest.
Yeah, you did take the easiest, but I gotta. And then I'll take the second easiest. I gotta highlight Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors carrying that offense. Like, yeah, I'm saying that Daniel Jones is looking good, but it is.
It is not because of Daniel Jones.
It is 95% Malik Neighbors. Yeah. Probably higher, because Malik Neighbors is getting open on every single play. That's what we're saying, that like these corners every single week are praising him as a rookie wide receiver.
Yeah.
But LSU is
corners usually have giant egos.
Yeah, but they're like, holy shit, this guy's good. Like, if I don't say that he's good, then he just watched me. Like, it's bad look.
It'd be like Conor McGregor after breaking his leg, talking shit in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, I can still beat your ass.
Yeah, after getting cooked all game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he's ridiculous.
The NFL is noticing what Malik Neighbors has been doing, because, he went 12 catches, 115 yards, and, he dropped the ball at the end. Like, who cares? He did everything.
He did. He was that team,
Cowboys.
and he's been that team.
He's the reason that the Cowboys had to switch corners mid-game. That's saying something.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll finish up with some glazing on good old our buddy, one of our favorites, Fred Warner.
Oh,
I mean, with that beautiful pick, he's just playing out there. I mean, he's a man among boys, and he's just proving it week in and week out. I think he's messing around at this point. He's just baiting them right now.
Yeah.
Like he looks crazy. I mean, he's looked good for years, but he's just
this is his
prime
year.
Yeah, he looks so good right now. It's hard not to glaze that guy.
We're really giving him the Chris Collinsworth treatment, because we've glazed him twice now.
Yeah,
he's just a tier above every other linebacker.
Every single one.
It's not close.
Yeah.
It's just not close. He is the heart and soul of that 49ers defense. If they didn't have Fred, they don't have Dre Greenlaw, but like Fred Warner is the guy.
He is. He's the green dot. I mean, he's obviously, and he
is absolutely insane.
So good.
Yeah, and everyone was always before the season started, everyone was comparing him to Roquan Smith, and Roquan Smith isn't shit this year. While Fred Warner is just like probably 3 tiers above.
Not compared to Fred Warner. Yeah.
Seriously, it's not close. I gotta highlight one special teams guy before we close out this episode, but Young Hui Koo, I have to highlight him. He didn't have a field goal under 40 yards in this game,
which is crazy, because like
he had 4,
and he had a 58.
Yes, the 58-yarder to win it. And as I said, the Falcons didn't score an offensive touchdown. So it's like, well, Koo, we know you're going to make it. Yeah, he had...
This is Chris Boswell.
Yeah, seriously.
For the
he had
team.
4 for 4 on field goals.
It's crazy, because he's not known to have like a big leg.
No, he's just
like
known to be accurate.
Yeah,
that 58-yarder to win the game was right down the middle. It was
Nailed
crazy.
it.
But yeah, he had 2 for 2, 40 to 49 yards, and 2 for 2, 50+. He was really good in this game, and he just got a contract not too long ago, but he earned his money in this game for sure, because Kirk Cousins was looking sloppy.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I just want to highlight KOC, man, Kevin O'Connell and that Vikings coaching staff, like we mentioned earlier. I mean, they're pulling this team together and to these wins, man. They look incredibly good.
I also want to highlight that there were 2 muff punts this week that ended in touchdowns. Rarely happens ever.
You're right.
Twice.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed had one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where the first touchdown for the Packers came from.
Yeah.
Very nice, boys.
Yeah. Crazy week. Another great week of football. Can't wait for next week. So, if you guys have any suggestions, feedback, questions, comments, complaints, compliments, constructive criticism, on and on and on.
Just comment, guys.
Let
It
us
gets
know.
our videos views.
Yeah, just comment something.
Bitch at us.
Yeah,
seriously.
I'm down.
I'll comment back at you on the account and say something witty back to your face.
Maybe make fun of you.
Yeah, probably.
Make fun of us to your buddies.
Make fun of Carson with how bad he is at game picks. We'll get into that
He is
next
very
episode.
terrible.
He's bad, yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah, so if you guys got any of that, let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. We'd appreciate it. And we got an email, laststopsportstalk@gmail.com. Let us know there, too. I mean, we'll answer you for sure. So, that being said, that wraps this one. Can't wait for next week. We will see you then.